she's the only one who just like had, I don't know, she's just like every time she's on
She had a
screen,
lot
she's
of
just
anger.
so there's so much like I don't even know if yeah, anger, um, bitterness is probably the wrong word. It's just like this like Eeyore energy around her. Where like, I'm sorry, like
Yes,
you
she
you
was
made it
very
this
like,
far.
woe is
Yeah.
me.
Right. She's very self-pitying and it's like you made it this far on this season of this show. Like, I don't know, could you let yourself enjoy? You're allegedly in love with this man. Even when she went to see him, you're like, all right, well, she'll perk up now. She'll like be in a better mood. She didn't even do it around him. And he apparently didn't seem to be put off by that. So I don't know what happened there. That was the shocking thing to me. I was like, well, clearly, like, I mean, I know how these shows typically go. So I was like, he's probably going to pick this woman because she's awful. But simultaneously, I was like, but he's not awful. And she is coming into this date with her, like taking her bad energy with her. So, like, he's going to
Yep.
see it. It's on display versus, like, I would have expected her to be like that around the other women. And then the second she gets around him to, like, be a completely different
Mm-hmm.
person. But that's not what I saw.
Yeah, she comes in and I was laughing initially because she walks in and they have like the person sitting there with the pottery. I'm like, "Oh, it's the ghost date. They're going to sit there and make pottery and it's going to be highly inappropriate." I was expecting that to happen.
When they play
And then
Unchained
she's just
Melody.
like, "Yes, right?" And she's just like such a sourpuss and like is just sitting there looking like she doesn't want to be there. And I'm like, this is the end of the show. Like, you could totally be blowing all of this time away from your career, time away from your family, and like everything with this guy
Yep.
because you're just annoyed.
Yep.
And this is like they're sitting, like I said, they're sitting in their hotel room all week waiting for this day. Like, why would you not make the most of it? Like the fact that like if she wanted to like tell him like I'm upset or anxious. Like that happens a lot of time. Like towards this point, there's usually someone, and so she's the one this season that they're showing that piece with. And like who knows, the others may have had a little bit of that too. But she just the way she handled it and the way she kind of like treated him like it was just like any other date, and she
Yep.
was just gonna be like, I'm gonna be silent and make you like bring it out of me. Like it just felt out of place for the show, and it just
Yep.
made me like her a lot less because I
Mhm.
was like, she it also felt a little entitled because not only like she's looking for the validation, but she also is comfortable enough doing it however she wants to, because I think in some ways she wants the validation, but she knows he really likes her too.
Right. Because
She's like looking for the compliment, but
you can't act like that with someone you don't where you don't have some degree of confidence that it's not going to change how
yeah,
they feel about you.
because there's definitely guys I'm sure you've dated guys, I've dated guys that this would not fly with at all. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think she has to know what she's working with, not only with the guy, which I mean, kudos to her for sizing him up, I guess, so quickly, but you have to like it's be the right guy and also the right dynamic with you and the other person, because this could be very poorly received for most guys, you know?
Yeah. I did feel like it
I
was
don't know.
just kind of manipulative too. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's manipulative and unfair because I'm sorry, you came on the show, you agreed to the terms of the show. Like, yes, it
Mhm.
absolutely sucks that he is dating two other women, that he did overnights with both of them. But you know what? The two other women in this pool also had to deal with that same situation. And they didn't like project their negative feelings about it onto everyone else. I don't know. It just
Mhm.
um I, I just kind of found her a little bit bratty and childish and also just unfair, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think Matt maybe is susceptible to stuff like that because he does seem like a really nice guy, and I think also because he has this idea in his head of like I'm in danger of not being a good guy, to where if a woman is telling him like that she's upset about something that he did, I feel like he's gonna almost like internalize that and like actually believe what she's saying even if it's not logical or fair.
Yeah, he's like overcompensating in a way.
Yeah, because like, he'll probably put up with more of that than maybe a guy who like doesn't have sort of anxiety around whether he can make a relationship work.
Yeah. So then he, of course, tells her again that he is falling in love with her. So that's the second time he said that on this
Yeah.
season,
I didn't
which
see
I'm
it
sorry.
though. I don't see
I
them
don't
together. I really don't. I think it seems very shallow and superficial, whereas like his connection with Michelle felt like something to me.
like a true connection. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he feels more I think he's just more about like the physical, like there's some sort of like physical connection with her, and I think he's just not thinking the full picture.
Hmm.
And like
Yeah.
I think if I'm correct, I believe that she is the youngest of the three.
She seems
So I
it.
mean, like we definitely felt that, and I think shows in their like the dynamic of their relationship too. So
How old is he?
I don't know. He, I should know this. I think he's 30 or just shy of. No, he's
Yeah.
29, I think, just shy of 30.
Yeah.
So I
She
mean,
seems very young.
yeah, I think she might be 23, 24, if I'm
I think
remembering
that's too young
correctly.
for
And
him. I don't know.
I mean, there was someone on this season, Kit Keenan, who is Cynthia Rowley's daughter, was on this
Oh, no
show.
way. I give her mother a lot of
She
money.
she was is just 21. So
Wow,
she was
that's
the youngest this season. Wildly young. Yes. I mean, the difference between 21 and like a 29 is I mean, it's like 8 years, but it's like a big eight, you know?
no, I know. I'm just thinking back to, yeah, those two ages in my life. Like my
Don't
29-year-old me
compare.
could not have a conversation with 21-year-old me.
No, no. And it's like most 21-year-olds can't have a good
Yeah.
conversation with a 29-year-old. I mean, there's outliers, but
Yeah, for
not a
sure.
lot of outliers in the Bachelor universe when
Mhm.
it comes to
Yeah.
that kind of age difference. So, but they are, they have their date. She's the only one that we see like the fireworks display.
Yeah.
They have someone was commenting online, which I did not notice this, but they said that they were the only of the three dates. That was the only one where I guess there was a name for the residence they were staying in. So like at some of
Oh.
those locations, they have like the blah, like the Avalon or like whatever it's called.
Mhm.
So like apparently that they were saying that theirs was the only one that had that noted. Because I started tweeting about my theory about like the room sizes and how that's indicative of how much the
Yeah.
lead is interested in them. And so then these guys were like obsessing about it and tweeting with me back and forth, like another Bachelor podcast. And then they were like, well, they were the only one with the name on the door. So anyway, it's kind of funny to have a little conversation. But yeah, I definitely thought they gave her sort of the royal treatment. So I don't know. It
Yeah, I
was,
don't like it.
you know, I don't like it.
Yeah. I feel like she is dramatic and gloomy and has the wrong energy
I
for this
know.
situation. The situation
Well,
being their
and then
date.
right,
Like, why are you
and
so
so then we get
negative? You got what you wanted. You're on a date with this man you allegedly love. Like, enjoy yourself for like 8 hours or something, please.
right.